Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Orange County. We're so glad that you are here with us today. We always like to begin by opening up with our vision and our mission statement. So, together, our vision, centered in divine love, we joyfully co create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. And so I always like to thank those people who make this service possible. And so we have Bill on piano, and we have Tom doing the audio, and John and Waverly are streaming, and Christopher is on camera, and Diane is our prayer platform person. So we're grateful for all of you. A couple of things. We are having our town hall meeting today after, I'm sorry, but I've lost the announcements for this week. Okay, so here we are. Sorry about that. We are having our town hall meeting today after the service. It's going to be on Zoom and it's going to be live. So if you're watching live streaming, you'll be able to join us at 11 o'clock for the town hall. The Zoom meeting is up there. It's also on our website in our calendar. And if you're here, you're going to be able to do it here as well. This is all planning that everything works okay. But it did the other day, so I'm going to assume it's going to work right this time. And a couple of things. The Aging Backwards class has been canceled. It's been postponed. And this Tuesday, we are having a movie night. And we're showing the movie Field of Dreams. And we're showing it here and on Zoom. So you can come here to watch the movie at 6, or you can go on Zoom and watch the movie. You'll be able to see it on the Zoom meeting. And then on Wednesday on Zoom from 6:30 to 7:30, we're going to have a discussion of the movie. So if you haven't seen Field of Dreams, and I think a lot of people have, it's just a fabulous movie about going and following your vision and really doing what your heart calls you to do. It's got so many messages in it. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it. And this week there will be no Divine Audacity class, but It's Never Too Late is meeting Thursday from 6:30 to 8. And we are starting our 40 Days of Gratitude next Sunday, the 18th. So every Sunday at 11 o'clock until Thanksgiving, we're having our Circle of Gratitude, and then there'll be things for you to do every day on your own. So it's a great way to get ready for Thanksgiving. And if you are getting stressed, or COVID is getting to you, or life is getting to you, or just your world is getting to you, and you need prayer, please email us at uocpray@gmail.com, and we will have a prayer chaplain call you and pray with you. And remember to go on our website for all of our activities. And remember, Smile Amazon. If you're shopping on Amazon, go to Smile Amazon. It's exactly the same. Put Unity of Orange County as your charity, and we get a little bit of whatever you spend. And when you're on there, if you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And so now I would like to introduce Diane for our daily word and our meditation.
So today, Sunday, October 11th, the word is prosperity. I am prosperous as I enjoy my daily blessings. I am comfortable with the person I see in the mirror as I begin my day. I am filled with energy and enthusiasm for my work, my recreation, time with family or friends, or time for learning and reflection. My gratitude grows throughout the day as I take part in activities that I enjoy and spend time with people that I care about. As I prepare for sleep, I am grateful for the blessings of a day well lived. More than money or possessions, prosperity is an awareness of well-being. my ability to enjoy simple blessings. I strengthen my prosperity consciousness as I bless and appreciate my home, my friends, my family, and my work. I increase the flow of abundance by sharing my time, talents, and treasure in service to others. And from Psalm 23:6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. And now we'll take a few moments for a prosperity meditation. In this time of quiet reflection, take a moment to breathe deeply and relax. Allow your day to slow down as you take these next few moments to become centered. Breathe. As you follow your breath, let go. Quiet your thoughts by simply acknowledging them and letting them pass by. You can silently say, "Thank you, God," or simply think the word peace. Allow your mind to rest as the still, small voice within comes into awareness. Thoughts of prosperous living, gratitude, and abundance in all forms flow through you now. Feelings of peace and plenty, a rich and abundant life wash over you. Life itself breathes you, loves you, prospers you. Your thoughts and feelings go deeper into the still small voice within that guides you to your highest good. Prosperity is yours as you let go and trust God completely for the good desires of your heart. Abundant good is flowing to you, through your positive words, thoughts, and actions. You are now in the flow of life. You easily flow, enjoy, experience gratitude. You enthusiastically say yes to your good. Take another deep breath and gently move back into your day, free from fear and concern, moving forward in the flow of life, unhurried and unworried, one with the flow. You open the way for infinite blessings of spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. It was perfect because today we're continuing with our Wisdom of the World Religions, and today we're going to look at Buddhism. And it's really interesting because Buddhism is considered one of the major religions of the world, but it actually is not a religion in the true sense. And many people who are Buddhists will tell you that it's not a religion because it's really not based on the belief in a deity. Buddhism is more of a way of living life. It's really a psychological thing more than it is a religious thing. But there's so much wisdom in Buddhism. It's just so rich with things that we can use in our own life that it's important to study it. And like I said, it is considered one of the major world religions. So it began, the Buddha, which is not a deity. Buddha is basically a teacher. Was born Sadahara Gautama. I have trouble pronouncing his name. And he was very wealthy. He was like born a prince, and he lived in a palace. And his parents wanted to keep him from all the pain in the world. So he never left the palace. And in the palace, he had everything he wanted, all the riches and food and eventually women, and whatever he wanted was there. But something in him made him want to see what was outside the palace. So in his life, he had never seen any suffering at all, never seen any kind of pain. And one day he decides to sneak out of the palace to see what is doing in the outside world. And he is shocked what he finds. He finds poverty, he finds illness, he finds death, he finds hunger. And it like blows his mind. And so he decides to leave and discover why there is all this suffering in the world. And so he leaves everything behind and he goes out in the world and he starts his journey to try and discover why people suffer and why. And he did everything. He gave up food. He gave up all his belongings. He lived lived just by the lay of the land. And whatever he did, he couldn't find the answer. And so the story goes, one day he's sitting under a Bodhi tree, and he's sitting there meditating, and he has this experience. So what happens to him under the Bodhi tree is all of the things that the world throws at us, all the envy and jealousy and greed and all this kind of negative stuff that the world throws at him starts coming to him while he's sitting there in the silence. And one by one, he has to just sit there and let it all go. Just watch it as it just comes and goes, which is really the practice of mindfulness, of just letting things come and go. And finally, he gets the biggest test of all, and he is faced with his other self. The psychologists say we have two sides. Everybody has two sides to them. And he has to face his negativity and this negative side of him and be okay with it. And as a result of this, he becomes enlightened. And that is what the Buddha stands for. The Buddha means enlightenment. He becomes enlightened. And he begins to teach all this stuff that he got during his enlightenment. And he gets followers and everything else. And so in Buddhism, they have three things they believe. One is the Buddha, which again is not a god, and the other is the Dharma, which is the teachings of the Buddha, and the other is the Sangha, because in Buddhism, the community is very important. So when you go into a Buddhist center, whether it be a Zen or any kind, the community is really important. So Buddhism believes in these Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths are that there is suffering in the world, the truth of suffering, that life is suffering. And if you think about it a minute, it may sound like it's negative, but the truth is there is sickness, there is death, there is poverty, there is all of that stuff. And so it is the acknowledgement instead of the denial of that is their first truth. And then the second is the cause of the suffering. So this cause of suffering comes from desire. It is our desire for things that causes all the suffering of the world. So the first truth, the first noble truth is there's suffering. The second is the cause of suffering, which is the desires that we have. And the third is the end of suffering. And the end of suffering tells us that it is our attachment to things that has to end for our suffering to end. So we have to realize that, think about it in your own life. Most of the time when you're suffering about something, let's just say you're having financial issues. And so you're suffering because you're always worried about how are you going to pay the bills and all of that. What is the cause of that suffering? You might say, well, I don't have money. But the fact of the matter is, it is the desire for things that money buys that you want. And it could seem like it's food or something really important, but it is that actually causes the suffering. And the fourth noble truth is the path to the end of the suffering, and where you reach enlightenment. And that is the eightfold path. So there are eightfold paths, and that is right understanding, right intent, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And when they use the word right, it doesn't mean like right from wrong. It means the right way toward enlightenment. So right understanding, it's kind of like in Christianity we have the Ten Commandments, and Judaism you have the Ten Commandments and all. Well, in Buddhism you have this. And so rather than go through all of them, the main thing to realize that I wanted to talk about is this right action. Because today, in today's world, so often, so much of our pain is caused from action that isn't right. So right action is doing something that is good for everybody, not just doing something that works for some people and not all people. Right action is being able to do, for instance, well, they have 5 precepts. So, and that is not to kill, steal, lie, avoid sexual misconduct, and not to take drugs or intoxicants. So the Buddhists believe that those 5 things keep us from right action. And so I've been to several Buddhist retreats, because one of the things about Buddhism is meditation. Meditation is extremely important because in meditation, which is what happened to the Buddha, we find the truth. In meditation, we get our insight. In meditation, we get our enlightenment. In meditation comes all the answers. So when you go to a Buddhist retreat, there's no activities, there's no group stuff, there's none of that. It's meditation. And so the first time I went to a Buddhist meditation, it was for a weekend. And it was actually a requirement when I was in ministerial school. And I thought, oh my God, I gotta. So, and meditation is 45 minutes. It's not 10 minutes, it's 45 minutes. And it's 45 minutes sitting meditation, then 45 minutes walking meditation, then 45 minutes sitting meditation. Then you eat in silence, and then you go back to the meditation. And by the end of the weekend, I was like, well, thank God it was just the weekend. So I did that for 2 years, and I came out of school, and then Christopher, who had been going to longer retreats, had said to me, let's go on a 10-day retreat up to IMS, which is the Insight Meditation Society, and do a 10-day retreat. I'm thinking, 10 days. He says, the food is great. I thought, okay, great vegetarian food. I'll go for 10 days. I'll eat. They won't know whether I'm there or not meditating. I'll just go off. They had thousands of acres of woods. I thought I could escape. No one would know if I was there or not. So I'm there and I'm eating and I'm hiking and I'm trying to avoid as much as possible because I'm sitting there in the meditation hall and it's like everybody is getting it. You know, they all are sitting on their cushions and they are just looking like they're getting enlightened. And I'm there with my mind going, when is this over? This is, well, watch, you know. And you can't bring anything there. You can't bring cell phones or anything like that. And I'm just miserable. So it is like the 8th day of the retreat. And I'm thinking, 2 more days. I have to survive 2 more days. I actually, the second day, I wrote a note because you can't talk. So I wrote a note to Christopher and I put it on the board saying, I want to go home. Can I go home? Anyway, so, and he sent a note back, no. So it's like the 8th day, and I am just so uncomfortable in my skin because I am the only person there. I am sure I am the only person there not meditating right. You know, there's no guided meditation. There's none of that. That sometimes the teacher will talk for maybe 5 minutes, getting you ready to go into the meditation, but there's none of that. There's no music. There's nothing except you and your mind, which is the whole idea of meditation in Buddhism. It's the clearing of the mind. And unless we go in and sit with our minds, guess what, folks? We can't clear it. We can't find out what's going on there. We have to take that time. So it's like the 8th day, and I'm thinking, oh, God. And it may have been the 9th day, actually. And I heard this voice, and the voice said to me, and I think it was Jesus, who was also hanging out at the Buddhist Center, said to me, go into the closet and shut the door. Because it tells us, that's what he says, right? Jesus says, go into your closet, and go into silence. So I thought, where am I going to find a closet? So they happened to have in the back of the meditation room this closet where they stored all the meditation cushions and benches and everything. So I was like, well, I'm going to go meditate in this closet because obviously it's not working in the room with 100 other people because everybody, all 100 people are meditating except for me. I'm sure of that. So I go into the closet and I get my cushion and I'm sitting there in the closet going, okay, if it's Jesus who told me to come into this closet, I need help here. So I'm sitting there meditating, and it happened. I mean, it happened. It was like I couldn't believe it. When it was over, I couldn't believe it. And then I thought, I had tears in my eyes and everything, and then I thought, I can now go meditate. And for the last day, I was able to. But the thing that I loved about it, and I went back 2 other times for month-long retreats, try a month of just meditating and being in silence for a month. But there's something about Buddhism that has always attracted me. And one of the things is the way that they live. So when you're at these retreat centers, there's no door locks. You don't lock doors because part of the thing is you don't steal. When you go to a retreat, you agree to these 5 precepts. You agree not to steal, not to take something that isn't yours, to speak poorly of somebody, to not use any kind of drugs or alcohol or intoxicants, to not do all of that. And everyone just agrees. And there's something that happens when you have people who are doing nothing but meditating, eating good food, really good vegan, vegetarian food, and meditating. It is this unbelievable environment. I can't even explain it. As uncomfortable as it might have been being there that long, I loved being there. And they had a library with all these books on Buddhism. To me, there's something beautiful about this belief. And there are many people who are Buddhists who are also Christians and Jews and other religions because it really isn't a religion. You can believe in their teachings. And it always made sense to me because there is suffering in the world. So right now, with everything going on, right, with the virus and all of that, there's definitely suffering. People are suffering. I have a friend of mine who's a therapist, and she says the longer it goes, the more people are in depression and they're having problems because they're just getting sick and tired of this, right? I don't know about anyone. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm done. Thank you for the mask, but I would love for the mask to be gone. I would love to be able to hug people. I would love to be able to go see my grandkids. I would love to be able to go back to life the way it is. And when things are taken away from us, we suffer. We suffer. And so Buddhism gives us a way to deal with that suffering and not be in denial. And one way is through meditation. When we meditate, we get to come to a place And try sometimes, I don't know how you meditate. You might meditate through guided meditations or music or whatever, but there's something about sitting and just sitting in the silence and watching the breath and being aware of the thoughts. You know, because if you sit there and you kind of think of your thoughts like Christopher does a meditation where it's like your thoughts are being written on this blackboard. And as you see your thoughts, you just take an eraser and you erase it. And then another thought comes and you erase it in your mind. Another thought comes and you erase it. And when you do this long enough, when you watch the thoughts come and don't judge them, don't like I shouldn't be thinking this, you just let them go. You just erase them. That your mind comes to a clear place. And when you live by right living, one of them is like right livelihood, when you're doing work that you love to do, and not doing things that go against what you believe, you feel good about yourself. Just one other quick story, and this happened as a result of this going to these meditations. So I worked in a business. I worked in the insurance business, and for years I loved it. And when I first met Christopher, he said, "How can you still do that work?" And I said, "Oh, it's great. I make a lot of money. It's very good. I like the company and all of that." And then something happened and the industry changed. And all of a sudden, I was no longer comfortable. I didn't like what the company stood for. I didn't like what was happening. And so I went on this retreat. And all of a sudden, I realized, I can't work here anymore. I can't work for someone who goes against what I believe, goes against my values. And so I wound up leaving the job. And I made a lot of money at that job. It wasn't easy leaving that job, but it no longer fit. So Buddhism is about being okay in our skin, being right with the things in our life that we're right with, and in going within. So when things are difficult, and I do this. Things are difficult. I turn on the TV or I watch a movie we get out of ourselves. We try and get out of ourselves to end the pain because we don't want to feel the discomfort that we're feeling. But try going within. Go do the opposite of what you think you should do. If you can do that and practice it enough, you might find that the end of that pain is in the silence. But it's sitting there going through that pain. So one time I was there and I got filled with anxiety and I tried everything. I tried eating, I tried walking in the woods, I tried everything. I could not get rid of this anxiety. So I decided to go into the meditation room and sit on my cushion and just feel the anxiety. I just sat there and I just let all that anxiety just whatever. And you know what happened? I didn't die. And what actually happened is it left. I was actually able to sit there long enough for the anxiety to leave. So it goes against what we think in the world, but it works. So we're just going to do a short meditation now. I invite you to close your eyes, and we're not going to have any music, and to just take a few moments and just watch your breath as it goes in and out. So take a deep breath, and wherever you feel your breath the most going in, it could be the nostrils, it could be the mouth, it could be the stomach. Just kind of see the breath going in and then going out. And just do that for a few breaths. Watch the breath going in and going out. Going in, going out. And if your mind wanders, try counting. As the breath goes in, count 1, 2. As it goes out, 3, 4. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. becoming mindful of where you are at this moment. If thoughts from the past come up, just watch them leave like a breath of wind taking it away. Of a fear of what might be coming up, just breathe. And as the breath goes out, watch it blowing it away. When you pay attention to the breath, you are being mindful. All of our difficulties appear from living in the past or the future. Right now, in this moment, in this now, there is nothing to fear. There is no regret. There is only this moment in time, this nanosection. I invite you to take another deep breath. And when you're ready, you open your eyes. Living in the moment, living right now, is the answer to all of our difficulties. When you are facing something in your life and you can't handle it, just take a moment to stop. Whatever you're doing, just stop and breathe and become centered in the moment. And ask yourself this question: how is your now? Not how is your past, not how is your future, but how is your now? Right now, in this second, we are okay. And that is what helps us get through the difficult times. So remember, life is lived in the moment. We may think it isn't, but life is lived in the moment. So have a good moment. Have a good life. Namaste. Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Here at Unity, we have 5 basic principles that we believe in, and we always like to go over those. And so if you would go along with us, they are on your screen. Together, 1, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. And 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. And 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know. I make a difference. And one way we make a difference is through the law of giving and receiving. And so we appreciate all of your gifts. You can give via text, texting 77977, and in the message put UOC Give. You can go on our website to the donate button and donate there. You can download our app, go in the App Store and download our app, and you can give through there. You can mail it in, or you can give if you're here today. So if you're ready to give your gifts, I invite you to take your gifts in your hands as we say our prayer together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And if you are here, we have a box as you go out by the exit to drop off your gifts. And I hope that you join us next week as we continue our series. And I think we're going to do Sufism. So join us next week, same time, same channel. And now we will close with our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. God bless.